So, Bhante, for someone who experiences samadhi, jhana, meditative bliss, would you say that's a lessening of tension, but going to zero is even more freedom than that bliss? More, is that what you're saying?
I will agree with you partially, but that experience, you claim this as me, claim as mine and myself. That danger is there. That the mindfulness make no that kind of compulsive impulses, that it can open and go into the enlightenment factor also. But the jhana, yes, it is good because it is very innocent and not disturbing and kind of thing. But it is having its own that conceit. That when compared with the Buddhism, we are comparing the Advaita Vedanta in the Hinduism, they appear like very advanced than ourselves. But they believe there's a soul. And that Jhanic experiences and release always boosting that egotism or the self kind of thing. But mindfulness at the beginning, you don't take that issue. But ultimately give the answer to you to see it's a principle of nature or law of the nature. It is not you. At the beginning you start like I am mindful and I am not mindful kind of thing. But when it's developing, it won't give that kind of a base for the conceit.
And what about Bhante for people who just from mindfulness practice jhana arises, whether they want or not?
That can happen.
So it's just something they have to deal with sort of until.
No, if they know it's a it's a byproduct of the mindfulness, but you have to understand the danger involved. If necessarily it will not happen automatically, unless otherwise the teacher is sufficient. But if you are going to highlight that, that student will refuse the teacher. But they have so much of attachment to the Jhanic experience.
Right.
So I am thankful to my Veluvana Dhamma group. We had in 79, 80, 82, 83, like, they always, when you are practicing mindfulness, they show you there may be conceit. So you must have a simple living, high thinking, and don't try to take it as a garland or take it as a
Ribbon
robe
or
kind of a thing to proudly wear it and say, I am mindful, I am a jhana, and kind of the other people are practicing. I mean that.
Sure.
Looking down. So that part is now not well discussed in the meditative and the mindful circles.
But the dropping of conceit, that sense of I am, I have, me, my own belonging, the dropping of that is very, very deep though, right? Very advanced.
But you may not be dropped already, but you must have the danger of it. At least you must be prepared. The success means a failure.
Yeah, I like that, Bhante. Sometimes, Bhante, I feel when I think of samadhi, right? So this samadhi, including the jhanas, that's a lessening of the five hindrances. So for people who have not had that experience, isn't that a better way?
Yeah, definitely. That is what you have to understand. It's within the rational mind and within the world, and everything is there. But that has its own addicting capacity.
Right.
You get addicted to that.
Sure.
And that is the difference between the before Buddhism and the after Buddhism.
Right, I see.
Earlier, it was everyone was every
yogi
were there.
Right.
And they thought this is the end by itself. But the Buddha, King Kusala Gavesi, King Satya Gavesi, not the Buddha to be. He developed all these qualities, but it was still within the samsaric cycle. Not.
Yeah, go ahead, Basim. Go
Yeah, I
ahead.
was gonna ask, what is the relation between a jhana and the stages of enlightenment? Is it a prerequisite or is it just something that just comes up?
What is the question? The difference between jhana?
I guess the relationship between jhana and the stages of enlightenment.
And other, what is the other one?
And like the stages of enlightenment.
Stages of
enlightenment.
Yeah,
So we can say jhana and insight.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that is, it's well defined. Samatha, vipassana. Both need samadhi. Jhana samadhi or vipassana samadhi. But naturally, according to common consent, people think vipassana means no samadhi. Only the samadhi can lead to jhana. Jhana is with the samadhi. That taboo is broken now within a certain circle. But the common misconception is still thriving. So it is your own question, don't think about society at large. So in my case, I am always cautious. If someone is practicing jhana, I get rid of that person. So much I have phobia, so to say.
But you're also saying, Bhante, that samadhi and vipassana are together.
Yeah.
It's just, in your experience, the jhana practitioners have a lot of conceit.
Not only conceit, they go bad. Simply.
Yeah.
Simply.
See, I feel, Bhante, that the being a jhana practitioner is so obviously painful. Because when you come out of the jhana, then you feel that pain.
That part is there, but they don't consider it, just like addicted person for the drugs. He don't understand the disadvantage of that brain damage and kind of, because his thrills and frills are overwhelming. It is tangible. It is rationally you can get it. So therefore, you don't.
But the Buddha said this is a pleasure that I allow, right? It's blameless. This jhanic pleasure.
No, that there's a one book called Way of Anapanasati was written in Sinhala. He says the Buddha to be born few days time. In the father, the King Suddhodana was going and having a ploughing ceremony, and then the nannies and everything was going out, and he floating. Yeah. Elevation. And then when the nannies and the witnesses are coming, prince is missing. He was up there. And the message went to the king, and we came and pay respect. And the Buddha later, he mentioned, he thought it is something extraordinary. It is not done for a celibate life. So he stopped it. And after renunciation, he spent 6 years the opposite of it. He never let the mind to go that side. Night before the enlightenment only, he thought, now my body is so with the self, the mortification, so why can't I go back to that? It was like a radical reflection, and that made the difference. Because there was a kind of a thinking, he thought it is not done. But after the enlightenment, he thought it is not so dangerous if you are practicing, understanding its utility value, not by just mere soothing value or thrills and frills. But now, I don't think we can answer this question in the society at large. But individually, you can comprehend it. And in my case, I have my phobia to the jhana or the concentration. But I am not expressing openly. Because almost all the traditions are advertising Samadhi, Jhana, all of that. I just keep my
I feel, Bhante, that you can say that because of where you are. But from where most people are, I feel that jhana is not as dangerous from a perspective of panya, from wisdom. You can say that.
So a simple answer given by your Pandita side, which is Vipassana Jhana. Now you can read the book, the in this very life. And there's one chapter explaining Vipassana way. Otherwise, till that people thought jhana is for the samatha people. It's reserved for samatha.
Right.
But when the Pandita Sayadaw presented, now about more than 30, maybe 50 years, no one challenged it.